All right, so here's a question. Sarah Sweet was the top scorer in a women's professional basketball league for the 2006 regular season with a total of 798 points. The number of two-pointers that she made was 55 less than double the number of three-pointers she made. The number of free throws that are worth 1 point each that she made was 27 less than the number of two-pointers that she made. Find out how many free throws, two-pointers, and three-pointers that Sarah made during the 2006 regular season. Okay, so I've gone ahead and put these up on the board here. Now, anytime that we work with systems of equations, again, we can either use substitution or elimination or what have you. Okay, so we're given that that the total number of points that she got was 798. So if you take up all the two-pointers, multiply them by 2, all the three-pointers, multiply them by 3, and add your free throws, then you should get 798. But it also gives us that the number of two-pointers that she made. So which, by the way, before I go any further, let's label our variables. So we're going to let x be the number of two-pointers. We're going to let y be the number of three-pointers, and z be the number of free throws. Okay. So the problem also tells us that the number of two-pointers that she makes was 55 less than double the number of three-pointers that she made. And then so it also tells us that the number of free throws that she made was 27 less than the number of two-pointers that she made. Okay. So when it comes to this problem, okay, you can, if you choose to, you can use elimination, try to get all the variables on one side, try to use elimination, all that, but that takes too many steps. Here's an alternative. Maybe try substitution. Here's why it works for this case. Look at x and z. X and z are each written in terms of a different variable. X is written in terms of y, z is written in terms of x. So here's what I can do with that. See this x here? Because x is written in terms of y, if I substitute that into z, the x that's in z, then z will also be written in terms of y. And then when that happens, then I can take both this and this and substitute that into our first equation. And when that happens, our first equation will be all written in terms of y. And then I can solve for that y. And when I solve for y, that's going to help me solve for x, which is going to help me solve for z. Okay, so that's kind of the roadmap that I want to take for this particular problem here. So what I've done was, first I'm going to substitute this x into here to figure out what z is going to be. So z equals x, which is this, 2 minus 55 minus 27. So combine like terms, 2y minus 82. So now I can take this right here, put it in z, and this here, put it in x. And I've gone ahead and written that up here. 2 times x, which is this, plus 3y, plus z, which is this, equals 798. Now my big equation is in terms of y. Let's go ahead and clean this up. Distribute, 4y minus 110. Combine like terms. It's 5y minus 82 equals 798. Again, combine like terms again. That's 9y minus 192. Okay. Then next up, I'm going to add 192 to both sides, like so. 798 plus 192, that's 0, carry the 1, 9, carry the 1, 990. Divide by 9 on both sides, and then I have my value for y. And remember what y represents. Y represents the number of threes. So that's your number of threes. So I'm going to take that value, plug it in here. Well, actually, no. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through with my original plan. If you want to take y, plug it in here, that's fine. But you still need to find x anyway. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in here to find my value for x. So x equals 2 times y, so that's 110, minus 55. That's 220 minus 55. I'm going to put that in my calculator real quick. 220 minus 55, and I get 165. That's my number of 2's. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this, put it all the way up here, and figure out what z is. So I'm going to do this over here. So z equals x minus 27. So 165 minus 127. I'm sorry, 165 minus 27, and that gives me 138. That's my number of free throws. Number of free throws, number of 2's, number of 3's. And then this right here. How do I check it? Well, let's take these values, put them back into our original first equation. All right, so I'm going to do that real quick on the calculator. So here it is. So on my calculator, I have 2 times 165, which is for the 2-pointers, 3 times 110 for the 3-pointers, and then of course my free throws, which is 138. Yeah. So now I'm going to go ahead and press enter, and I should get 798, which is what I want.